2 Megapops is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6 where you need to place down a single tower, and that single tower needs to get at least 2 million pops throughout the entirety of the game. You can place other towers down, but obviously they do not need to do a lot of pops, otherwise we're going to take too many pops away. That's the idea of 2 Megapops, 2 million pops, there we go. But we're also going to be doing an all pops challenge with the Poyaki, however you want to pronounce it, and we're doing it in a manner where we're not doing it on challenge yes or no. We're going to be doing a raw game and we're going to get through this, okay? You and I together. So we're going to be buying our Microraptor and then let's get cracking. I'm so confident with this, but we're not doing this in challenge editor. Right, get the Gyro Falcon and then we are good to go. Now our next objective is to place down Geraldo. Getting every single pop with a single tower is just that next step further alongside 2 Megapops. Yes, you're going to get it, but also can that tower on its own get absolutely everything on the battlefield? Let's see, we're going to place down Geraldo, and we're going to place him behind this hedge, which is a very good means of preventing unwanted pops, because normally Geraldo will be able to pop these blues, but thanks to this hedge, that is not going to be a thing. Our next objective is the Adosaurus, which is going to enable us to A, do more pops, and B, enable us to pop leads. And yes, we're doing this on an intermediate map. A, I'm kind of tired of logs and resort for one day. But B, let's just try something just a tad bit more challenging alongside an all pops challenge. Let's do this on a non-beginner map for a change. The Adosaurus is here, which means our chomps will be that bit more powerful, and we can now pop leads. We are now in possession of the Horned Owl. Actually, let's just position this cursor just slightly up here, picks them up and brings them over here, which means the Adosaurus will still be able to attack the picked up balloons spinning there. Okay, so it's round 20. So I'm going to select off auto start, and the reason for that is because I want to place down the beast handler, but I don't want it to get any pops whatsoever. So just put them over here. And the key thing about the bottom path is where you put your beast handlers. So the more places that you have the beast handlers around, the more range the Poyaki will be able to have when it comes to its ability to attack balloons. The more dispersed out your beast handlers are placed, the more in which that bird, in this case our owl here, is able to attack balloons. So notice sometimes the owl goes to the right here. That's because we have a beast handler of the bottom path over here as well, which is fabulous. So our next objective is going to be the Golden Eagle. Round 27. If it wasn't for the dinosaur in the middle here, leads would be an impossibility when it comes to popping them. So that's why we need to pursue middle path rather than trying to go for the fishes, which, well, doesn't really do that much for us. A, because of positioning, and B, because the fishes cannot pop leads until it's like the beast whale or the orca, I believe. We now have the Golden Eagle, which means the bird is now even more powerful. We're going to need to place down a third beast handler, but we wait till the end of round 33 before we do that. So turn off auto start so that we can place it down without it accidentally popping any balloons. But we want this one to have want this particular beast handler to be the only one that pops anything. So that is going to be something of safety when it comes to this in mind. So I know it's only one, but one is better than nothing. What we're hoping to do is get 3 Golden Eagles before round 40, because we're going to need a max powered Golden Eagle for it to be able to damage the Moabs. The Adosaurus that work with these leads, I'm so glad there's a tier 2 of a beast handler that can pop leads. Otherwise, this might not be possible? Question mark? I mean, you'd have to have the support of another tower in order to actually pop the leads, but just beast handlers on their own. If it wasn't for the tier 2 factor of being able to pop leads, then we would be in a bit of a rut right now when it comes to an all pops challenge with this bird. An all pops challenge on an intermediate map. Now that's quite the impressive feat. Now, if we didn't have a maxed out Golden Eagle, this would be very difficult because the Golden Eagle wouldn't target the Mobs in general. With just slightly more firepower, we're going to get ourselves a second Allosaurus and merge it to that. And we're going to continue on with the game. Rainbows are taken down to reds with a max-powered Golden Eagle. Lovely. Next objective is the Giant Condor. Fortified ceramics, no problems whatsoever there. Normal ceramics, no problem. Camos, obviously the birds can by default pop camos, which is lovely. We're going to need a invisibility potion of around 59 because of camo leads. The Giant Condor cannot pop leads until it gets to the Pouākai, and then it can by default pop leads, which is very helpful against DDTs. There you go. Fortified ceramics, no issue whatsoever. Round 49, a numerous amount of balloons, but guess what? We have this covered, no problem whatsoever. Remember, this is not a challenge editor, so if we fail this, we're going to have to start again from round 6.
What is that?
Round 50, another one of these behemoths. Got our second Giant Condor going, which has merged with our primary Giant Condor. And then we're going to aim to get ourselves a 4th Beast Handler down. Actually, we're going to do it on this round, actually. So, I think the mobs always spawn from this side. So, I think it's going to be slightly advantageous if we position our other one here. Go back to auto start and then click auto. So click play again. We've already done that with the auto starter slider. I just find it safer to select auto start off so that you can safely place it down without popping anything. Like, I think for an all pops challenge that is kind of recommended, if you know what I mean. Now, all of these ceramics are getting absolutely clawed and pecked and chomped to death by our beast handlers as beasts. Call them predators there. Okay, so before I forget, I'm going to put down an invisibility potion so our Allosaurus can pop the camo leads. We could safely put down a submersion support, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to rely on a submersion support for this video or an overclock. The first 2 Megapops slash first all pops where we don't rely on either the submersion support or the overclock as a means of being able to help us out here. Because unlike the other 2 cross paths of a beast handler, Ninja Curious made it so that the bottom path beast handler does not benefit from the overclock, which is really predatory against birds, if you ask. I'm just kidding. There's probably some mechanical reason as to why Ninja Curious decided not to have the wonderful wonderful ability of overclock on the birds themselves. Nearly there with our 3rd support Giant Condor in place, which means that round 63 will not be an issue whatsoever. There we go. Round 63 is here. Our Giant Condor is max powered, which means it can do the best that it can without other external support. And to be honest, the amount of support that the Beast Handler can get is quite limited in itself. Can't be alchemized. And the bottom path can't be supported with overclock. So that means the only thing really you can rely on is the wonderful village. For the Poyaki. As of today, recording this on the 18th of September 2023, Ninja Curious made a very interesting update over on their Reddit regarding Paragons and their mechanics kind of changing a little bit so that it's easier for newer players to be able to understand the mechanics of Paragons and how to form them, which I think is very good for in the long run actually. Like, I think Paragons can sometimes be a bit overwhelming in order to actually put together if you're not acquainted with them. So I think that is a really cool thing that Ninja Kiwi has done. Essentially, what Ninja Kiwi is going to be introducing, I'm not part of the team, is with the Paragons themselves, it's going to be more easy to kind of see where you're going with when it comes to upgrading them, along with the fact that after getting the Paragons themselves, if I'm reading this correctly, you will be able to increase the levels with more money invested into the Paragon itself. So that is incredibly nice. That come on now. Where is that? Okay, I'm going to put that over there. But this thing should be able to grab balloons, and it's not grabbing them like it should be doing. Okay, I changed the positioning. Now it's grabbing balloons, which is nice. So it should have been doing that, and I was thinking, why is it missing out on certain features of just grabbing them? So there we go. Now that's much better. And I put the cursor here so the Allosaurus is still able to damage them. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Ninja Kiwi changes the mechanics of getting Paragons, along with being able to invest in higher levels of them as well. And from reading the notes themselves, the cheaper Paragons will be easier to access at higher levels, whereas ones like the Goliath Doom ship, which have a higher cost, will be hard to get their level 100s, which I think is pretty cool actually, because the Goliath Doom ship is the most expensive, but also the most powerful of the Paragons. Like, I don't think that is much of a debate. It's carpet bomb ability, like how I like to call the ability itself. That is probably the most powerful form of attack throughout the entire game when it's at level 100, and it's buffed by the Navarch of the Seas, because Paragons can benefit other Paragons. But also the fact Navarch of the Sea can also benefit ships and planes. So where are we at with the Poyaki? We have 10k away actually from being able to get it. There we go. I love seeing the stalling, and in a way it's kind of bringing it to the front of the track, but it's honestly keeping them hostage. The giant Condor is severely at work. Look at that. That's brilliant. Come on, going around 77. So let me know what you think of the changes that are going to be made to getting Paragons. I think personally it's going to making like the all Paragons level 100 solo video is going to be a little bit different. Like, I'm not going to be able to like showcase the Paragons when getting them initially at level 100, but at some point they will be at level 100. So that's going to be a thing. It's going to be really interesting to see the changes that are going to be presented. Right, 3k away from the Pouākai. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing it. I was literally just watching a documentary video about well, this particular bird in general and the rarity of this powerful bird in and of itself. Like, Europeans thought that this bird was non-existent until bones were found in the late 1800s. Anyway, speaking of the bird, we now have the big bird itself, and its wing flaps create this splash area of damage, which is brilliant. Like, every time you see like whirlwinds coming out of the bird itself, that is the bird itself being able to cause a lot of splash damage, which is brilliant. So now that we're here, we're going to be putting down additional beast handlers. And what are these going to be doing? Well, buffing up the Poyaki even more. So anyways, a bird so large it can pick up, carry off, and destroy almost any number of balloons of almost any size. Almost any size. Are you saying that you cannot instantly pick up the bird? How dare you? Anyways, we have put this down, put you over there. I'm going to put one up here as well, and merge you. Merge you, please. Do not want a single pop being wasted away by a non-Poyaki bird. Thank you very much from this point onwards.
Where's that genie bottle?
The genie bottle will not be present, because that will mean that you're going to get pops, Geraldo, which is not going to be happening. Also, on an intermediate, Geraldo levels up faster than on beginner. And the same thing with advanced maps and expert maps. Heroes level up faster when they're on a harder difficulty map. Although sometimes it is debatable whether or not a advanced map should be on an expert map geared, or if a expert map should be on advanced Dark Castle, or if a beginner map should be on intermediate, or intermediate should be on beginner, or intermediate should be on advanced, or advanced should be on intermediate. I think at the end of the day, difficulty can be subjective. So what you might think is hard, another person will think is easier than what you're making it out to be. I was wondering why that's so different. Get this one to the giant Condor. Round 84. My bird impressions are crap. Do not take my bird impressions as canon towards the bird themselves. that in its own way is discrimination against birds. Not really. Around 84, and this Poyaki is doing God's work here. Honestly, a pretty powerful cross path, I'm not going to lie. Right, auto start off because we're going to be placing down one more of these gigantic behemoths, and then we are there with the beast handlers. And by spreading out my beast handlers throughout the entire map, it means that if let's say there's a balloon that wants to enter the field, then look at all these circles in which the Poyaki can attack balloons. Like the only parts of the track which it can't attack are down here and up here, but balloons don't appear on these parts of the map anyway. So regardless of what you think, the Poyaki has a map-wide range means of attack, which is brilliant. Also, we can keep auto start on for the entirety of the game. 124, upgrade this to a giant Condor, and it'll give us another 8 power in order for this to reach max beast power for the Poyaki, which is the easiest one to actually get max power because of its cost. So the bottom path is the cheapest, then the top path I'd say is the not the most expensive but not the cheapest path, and then middle path is the most expensive out of the three, which is understandable. So I think the Gigantosaurus is the most powerful of the three when it comes to just sheer poppage. Okay, giant Condor, lovely. This is now 132 of 132 of its power. So our next objective is, well, how are we going to support our Poyaki? I'm thinking of a Jerry's Fire. And when this gets to level 19, I'm thinking of the invisibility potion so that our Poyaki and Allosaurus does bonus damage to DDTs. Also for the Allosaurus to target DDTs. So, oh, this is at level 19, lovely. We usually used to gain level 19 at like round 96, 97, whichever one, or even like round 94, round 94. I played this game so a lot, I don't really know. Okay, that's within the range of the village, which is lovely. So, radar scanner, good. Around 93, the DDTs are coming in hot. They're coming in hot, but guess what? We're even hotter with our wing flaps. There we go. Get you down. I know it's not necessary for this to have invisibility potion for the Allosaurus because it's now under a radar scanner. But honestly, you know what I'm thinking? That bonus damage to DTs is very nice. It's just drawing all of these ZOMGs and this is gradually nibbling away. Let's see. Pickles will be next on round 96, but that will be it. Let's see, DDTs, just bring them all over here. Oh gosh, these DDTs are being gobbled up, picked up and pecked to death. And clawed to death as well. The claws of these huge birds are nothing to mess around with. They are extremely powerful. Can puncture the skin and flesh of other animals, honestly. Round 96 is being done. Oh yeah, we could put pickles on now and it won't be missing out on the bad. Let's see, that's all good, that's all good. Round 97. We're not going to be putting down any creepy idols. And that's simply because of the fact that sometimes when balloons are getting, what do you call it, blown away, it could come within the range of Geraldo because while they're airborne, they're kind of not obeying with the laws of reality. So we don't want to accidentally miss out on stuff. So homeland defense, and all I'm going to do for safe sake is just have another one of those over there. And that's all good. That's the only defense or support that we need. So, call to arms. Just keep on gnawing those DDTs. Thank you very much. And now, the bad. You have no chance, bad. You are here for our beaks and claws. And our jaws with the little guy in the middle here. So we got 2 million pops. Lovely. Isn't that just a brilliant sight? Another proof that this is not a challenge editor. We get ourselves an instant monkey. And all pops have been done by the Poyaki and the Adasaurus. Towers place 10. 2,042,605 pops. Sometimes the pop count can be quite inconsistent. Like another video, it was one shy of 329,000. Abilities used 2 with a call to arms, review map. That is absolutely brilliant. I don't even know why I put this one here. It's just because of regrow's sake. But this thing is so powerful that you don't really need to worry about regrows because it just keeps instantly popping the balloons. What a powerful bird. Also doing this on a map like this, it's really satisfying because you can use the entire map as a means of attack. If you range your beast handlers out so it covers the entirety of a track, it means that the Poyaki has a global range of the entire track. As long as there's a beast handler nearby, it kind of gives the Poyaki more eyes to rely on, essentially. And it has that means of being able to go about and globally pop balloons, just like it did with a bat when it spawns around on the right hand side of the track. It instantly got to attacking because of this beast handler here. It is honestly, all 3 cross paths are powerful in their own ways. The bottom path is just the most easiest to access because you can get the Poyaki on round 79. So there we go. We've done all 3 cross paths of the beast handler of all pops. But the dinosaur for me is the most unique because... Wait. Where's my internet gone? Because of the fact that you can literally just do it with dinosaurs. As long as you have a submerger support in order to decamouflage balloons. Thank you so much for watching, people. And let me know what you'd like to see me do next. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves, everyone.